Gait, and today I'm going to teach you how to etch on glass with EtchAll, the only reusable etching cream. EtchAll comes in a liquid and it also comes in a cream. Today I'm just going to be demonstrating the cream, but the liquid is in case you wanted to, let's say, etch the complete outside of a wine glass or a bottle. Now there are many steps, but it's very, very simple to etch glass. So I'm going to go as slowly as I can, and I'm going to explain all the steps to you. You can go to EtchAll.com and place your orders there. EtchAll comes in a 4 ounce, it comes in a 32 ounce, and it also comes in a 16 ounce. This is the cream and it's green. This is the dip and etch, and it's a liquid, and that's why it's blue, so that you can relate to that it's a liquid. When you receive your cream, it could be a cream color, or it could be as black as what this looks like inside this container. Usually it's cream. If the EtchAll goes to complete black, it is still reusable. There is no shelf life to EtchAll. If you have little crystals inside, and I can see a few, that's just because the EtchAll is cold. So what I'd like you to do is take a pot of water, boil it on the stove, take the pot off, put your EtchAll with the lid on, sealed really well, into the pot, let it sit there for 5 minutes, take it out and shake it, and all those crystals will be dissolved. Do not throw those crystals out. You need to have those crystals. It's part of the chemical of the product. Some people like to use gloves while using EtchAll. I don't. Matter of fact, I was doing a show once and I was eating an apple and I thought, why is this tasting so funny? And I had EtchAll on my fingers, and I'm still here to live to tell the tale. So if you have sensitive skin, then I would suggest, yes, that you go ahead and you use a pair of rubber gloves. But like I say, that's your option, that's your choice. So the first thing we're going to tell you is that EtchAll can be used on glass, ceramic, slate, marble. You can take the shine off of a ceramic plate, and if you're a person that does pen and ink, you can take the shine right off, do your pen and ink right over the top of it. It's not a problem. EtchAll will work for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, it stops etching. What you want to do after is, if you want to reactivate it, you'd go back over it with this product, which we call a squeegee. So you would apply your cream, wait for 15 minutes, come back, wiggle it like this, and it'll reactivate it. If you're taking the glass off ceramic, it's going to take you about 3 times, so 45 minutes to get the shine off in order for you to proceed to do what you want to do. The nice thing about EtchAll is when you're using EtchAll, it is a product that allows you to have the tooth on the surface of a shiny object to paint. So if you wanted to, for instance, today I'm going to be etching this Lazy Susan, and when I'm done, if I wanted to, I could paint the center of it. So as I explained to you, this is our squeegee. We also have a tool that's called a designer tip tool, and this is what we use to pick out our designs with. You never come to the laser edge of the cut to pick out a design. You always come in. You don't want to distort that beautiful laser cut. We also have 2 cutting tools. One is a flat tool, and you can use that as a pick tool as well if you want, or this one, which has a swivel head on it, and I'm hoping that you can see this. I'm turning it. So you would place it and start cutting out the design, but never lifting up the blade. You just allow it to stay on the surface, and it will go ahead and cut for you. If you have the round cutting tool, don't let anybody else use it, because it's the way you hold it and you push and which way you lean. So once you start using the swivel knife, make sure that everybody has their own swivel knife. So we won't be using those today because I already have a pre-cut stencil. What I've used is a silhouette cutting machine, so I can take any image that I want that's on my computer or upload it to my computer, then I believe you call it download it to the silhouette. I'm an artist, I'm not a computer techie person. And you can convert that image into a stencil. Now, a stencil is made out of an adhesive vinyl. It's not a vinyl that like a normal stencil that you would paint over the top of. And a stencil comes in 3 parts. So here's my stencil that I have cut. And this one I even outlined it with the pen. So the nice thing, let me turn that so it's not so shiny. The nice thing with the silhouette is you can put your vinyl in and it will trace out the pattern with a pen. Take the pen out, put the blade in. Do not remove the mat. That's what it's called when it's going in. And it will re-outline it. I don't do that for every single pattern, but for this one I did. Now I want to show you again 3 parts. So there's our vinyl, there's our backing. There's another piece that goes on the top, and this is called the mat. And you have to have a mat over top of your stencil, because if you don't, it's very sticky onto itself. I'm going to show you what happens. This stencil here does not have the mat on it. If I go to lift this stencil off, do you see what's happening? I can't lift this stencil off properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of chalk, and this is just a little tip that I do, and I'm going to rub it over my design so that I can see my design. Then I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to wipe that off. So now I can really see the design that you couldn't see before. Now I'm going to apply my mat over the top, and you want to make sure that the whole stencil is covered. You're going to take your squeegee and you are going to go out from the inside out. Obviously this is too much mat for what I need, but I just tore it off. Vinyl is sold separately, the mat is sold separately. So okay, so if this was all nice and neat and pretty and, you know, put on here the right way, you would have a pretty nice looking square. I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm going to take another clean piece of paper towel and I'm going to wipe off my glass surface with rubbing alcohol. This is a Lazy Susan, which I bought at a dollar store. So if you're in Canada, it was bought at a Dollarama. I don't know what they are in the States. This is a great way to make an extra income. Wine glasses are big with people's initials on them as a gift. Okay, the next thing I do is I take that paper towel with the rubbing alcohol and I make sure I get it all the grease off my hands. And then you don't want to go and touch your face, because if you touch your face, then you're putting fingerprints of grease back onto the glass surface. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, there's a stencil that I've just done it, and I've I created this myself on the silhouette, and then I've put the mat over the top so it's all nice and pretty looking. And now I'm going to show you how you take apart the stencil to apply it to your surface. Remember, the stencil comes in 3 parts. So you want to lift off the backing of the back of the stencil. Now I'm going to push this a little bit harder, and on this particular stencil you're not going to see the back like the other one was blue. This backing is white. So you are going to lift very slowly, and you want to make sure that all the stencil stays onto the mat. Now I've got a piece that's really stubborn here, so I'm going to lift it with my pick tool. You can see that it's coming off. And depending if you're doing a negative or a positive stencil, you're pulling very, very slowly. Very slowly. That's your backing. You're just going to place that off to the side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to eyeball this. And hopefully I'm going to get this in the center, because you get one kick at the cat, folks, and that's it. You place this down, you take your squeegee, and you again go out from the center. This is great that I'm doing a lazy Susan. Spins for me. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to pull off the mask. And the mask you're going to pull off and you're going to roll it very slowly. And you can see my design is right there. Now you'll see a little dot because a piece of the stencil came off, because that's okay. Because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a positive etch, not a negative etch. That means I am only going to be etching where I am, it's called picking out the design. So I keep this piece of mat because that becomes my garbage can. And now I start lifting off the pieces, which are very simple. And remember what I told you, do not go where the cut edge is, go inside and lift off. Only takes a few minutes. So please bear with me. I didn't want to do the magic of television. I wanted to do this from start to finish for you. I like using the mask as my garbage can because then it doesn't get all over the place. So I have to make sure that I get all these little dots out. Now you can see the pattern is starting to show. EtchAll has been around for a long, long time. It's been around for over 50 years. Like I say, it's the only reusable etching cream on the market. It is earth friendly, and with everybody thinking green earth, I think that's a great way to do things that are saving the environment. You're not washing your product down the drain. If you are going to use a sea sponge to give you a textured look, you can't reuse it then, because when you went to scrape it off, it would start to distort your sea sponge look. I like the Silhouette machine versus the other machines because I don't have to buy cartridges. I can take any design I want. If I wanted to sit here and design something, I could. I've done French doors where I've used MacTac, or in the States you call it shelf paper, and applied it all over the French door. And then I drew a design with permanent marker onto the vinyl. At that time, you don't need to have a mask because the vinyl is already on. Then I hand cut the design, and then I went ahead and I etched it. Almost done. Got all these little thingies all over my fingers. There. There's all your masks. I'm going to take this, get it all off your fingers, and I'm going to even do the center because I might turn around and paint it. Sorry for the glare of the lights over the top, but there's your design. You're going to take the backing that you first took off, place it over the top, wax side up, flat side up, doesn't matter, and you're going to come back and you're just going to go like this to make sure that all the edges are down perfectly flat. The minute EtchAll hits its surface, it starts to etch. So what we're going to do, because we don't want any accidents, we're going to take green painter's tape and we are going to mask off everything that we don't want etched. Now I have a little saying that says, when in doubt, tape it out. Make sure that you have overlapped your edges really, really well. Because you might not think that it's going to show, but if I was to take that one of those cutters and make a line, as thin as that line is, it will etch through the line. So you can see up close that I have overlapped the white vinyl underneath. So now I'm going to place a paper towel under here, not because I have to, I just want to stop the lazy Susan from moving. I'm going to put my tools out of the way because all I want is my my EtchAll. And like I said to you, I'm going to use the EtchAll cream. And I've just put this in a container because my jar is kind of low. So I'm going to take a spoon. Now, you never take the EtchAll and put it directly on the surface that you want to etch. So I'm going to come over here and make this a wider space. And this one as well. And I'm going to pour my EtchAll. It's like chocolate pudding. I'm going to pour my EtchAll right here. And now I'm going to start pulling my EtchAll. I'm using a spoon. Get it out of the container. You can use your squeegee as well. It's like buttering bread. You're going to go very quickly, but do not scrape it down right to the glass. I'm going to take my squeegee and I'm going to wipe all that excess back off because remember, it's reusable. Now I'm going to come back here and I'm going to just wiggle this like this because I want to get the air bubbles out. I'm surprised that more people don't do glass etching. Maybe they think it's too toxic. All I'm doing is I'm taking off the EtchAll off my spoon and I'm putting it back into that container. You cannot etch lead. So if somebody said to you, oh, gee, you know, I've got some wine glasses here, I'd like you to etch for me, the easiest way for you to find out if it's got lead in it or not is to take a toothpick and dip it into your etching cream and go in a very inconspicuous spot on your glass and put it on there, wait your time period, and then take it off. If it comes off and you can see that it's etched, then there's not that much lead in it that you can go ahead and etch it. I did a cup and saucer once. It was glass. It was so pretty. And I did the cup, and then I did the saucer, and then I etched it with the cream, and I was so excited. Well, the saucer etched, but the mug did not. So that tells me that there was lead, a lot of lead in the glass. And like I said, you need to be careful because if you get a client and they want you to etch, you need to make sure that yes, you can say yes, I can go ahead and do it. You could do mugs, you can do wedding favors, you can do the wedding table, you could go to a real estate office and have their logo put on glasses for their clients. You can do beer mugs. You can go into people's homes and etch their mirrors in their bathroom. You can etch their French doors. Like I said before, the sky's the limit. It's slate, marble, glass, and ceramic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going like this and I'm scraping it back into my container. Now remember what I said to you, it doesn't matter how black the EtchAll gets, there's no shelf life. So if you have a silhouette machine, you can still do your cards, buy some vinyl, If you don't want to get vinyl off the top, the vinyl that I use is Avery vinyl, but you could go and buy shelf paper, but you still have to have the MacTac shelf paper, and you still have to have the mask for over the top. Now I've taken off pretty well everything that was there, and I've scraped it back into this container. I have wasted nothing. And now I'm going to just place my container over here, and I'm going to close it. The thing that will stop the etching from working is water. So here's my fancy container. When you're rinsing, if you are in a house with a ceramic sink, do not rinse it in the ceramic sink because the EtchAll will etch your sink. Get a plastic tub like what I'm doing, and it will dilute it. Then you can pour it down the drain. I like to use warm water so then it doesn't make my vinyl so sticky. I'm going to start peeling this off. I'm going to wash a little bit more. So I'm going to move this off to the side. I'm going to place it down here. I'm going to dry it off. And I'm going to start to lift off my stencil. Get a little bit more water, come back. Now I really hope that you're going to be able to see this. There's my etching. If I hold it like this, you'll be able to see it better. It's a little bit wet underneath on the swivel part of the Lazy Susan. So you can see that it's etched. You can see right through here that it's etched, and this surface all here is etched. So I can come back later if I wanted to, and I can go ahead and I can add a I can go ahead and paint on this if I wanted to. I can use the enamel paints by Folk Art, or the Americana glass paints, or PBO glass paints. And that's pretty well it, folks. We do have a little kit called a designer tip kit, which comes with a 2-ounce bottle. You take this cap off, you place it on here, and there's different tips. So if you wanted to sign your name, you can. Then you take the tip off of your EtchAll bottle, fill this with water, and squirt through the tips to rinse out your tips really well. So there's many products. We have another product called a resist gel. And if I wanted to, I don't know, let's say hand paint or hand draw out a surface on here, I would squirt this out and it comes out a beautiful seafoam green. When it dries transparent, then you can go ahead and etch. You can use the dip and etch, or you can use the cream, and do your time period, rinse it all off, and then peel this off. And where you have applied this resist gel, there will be no etching. So I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you today with EtchAll. Do go and check out their website at etchall.com and start etching glasses and start making some extra money. This is Sue Gait signing out.